Kin Racetrack is now a fully operational firefighter camp for crews battling the White Rock Lake Wildfire, and Fire Information Officer Forrest Tower gave an overview on how crews are handling a blaze this size, and he says this fire will likely burn until the winter.
Essentially at this point, there's many areas that you're focusing on that are all for sure one fire if you take a high level overview of it. But in terms of tackling a fire this size, you really have to break it down into a bit smaller objectives. And so that's kind of how we, in terms of operationally, that's how we kind of divide a fire into, we'll have different branches on a fire, and then we'll have different divisions, and each of those crews is responsible for a certain section of the fire's perimeter, and that's what really they're focused on for mostly their whole tour. And so in terms of, overall control over this fire, the broad fire, it is honestly going to burn until winter. Like, this is not a fire that we can have even if we had all the resources in the world, that might be enough. But in terms of just realistic resources that are able to be put on a fire this size, we have priority areas, obviously, around communities. So, we focus on areas that could threaten communities now and in the future and private property. And then we try and, focus on those. And when those are, I wouldn't even call them out, but when they're secure and there's no risk for the fire to get outside of where its current perimeter is, they would then move on to kind of other areas with less risk.
Forrest says that when people travel to at-risk areas to take pictures and watch the fire, it becomes a safety issue.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. If nothing else, it's distracting, and that's a bare minimum. But I would say that's probably not even the reality of it. It is, at some level, it's a safety issue. So when you do have people that are, and not only a safety issue to our crews, but to the actual people that live there, that have primary residence, that if they're not in an order area, and certainly no one should be looking in an order area, but even in an area that's under alert or adjacent to an area under alert, there is a reason why it's on alert, and so it's there is, at some level, there is some threat, and people need to be ready to evacuate.
For Castanet News, I'm Victoria Famia in Vernon.